Hey, what's up nerdies? In this video, RDJ just sent the MCU world in a spiral with some images, and Kevin Feige coming in for the win with the X-Men talking about how they will be used in Avengers Doomsday. So a couple of days ago, Robert Downey Jr. posted new videos and images from his trailer as he is shooting Avengers Doomsday, by the way. Right now, he is shooting it. He gave out some videos. Outside of a few mysterious set photos, the Doomsday set has been completely locked down by Marvel Studios ahead of its debut, but this has not stopped some of the actors going in, offering little nuggets of information, and boy, did Robert Downey Jr. just break the complete Marvel internet. All the fans are hyped. So let's go through them step by step, and then we're going to talk about the X-Men and also the daughter of Sue Storm, which could be involved with Doctor Doom as well. Here's the first image of Robert Downey Jr. sharing a video of himself listening to Change of Scenery, which is by his son, Indio Downey, a song by his son on Spotify. But there's the West Coast Avengers comic right there with Doctor Doom featured prominently on the cover. More specifically, this is the West Coast Avengers Volume 2, issue number 35. Okay, so the fans went rampant. Some were accusing Robert Downey Jr. of just, promoting his son's music and using Doctor Doom as promotion material. But the next day, Robert Downey Jr. did not stop, and this might be a response to the fans that it's not all about my son's promotion, which unfortunately he did promote him again in the second day, but this time above the iPad, there are two separate Marvel comic issues that fans could dissect. On the left, it is the Secret Wars omnibus, and honestly, if you ask me, I don't think he's reading any omnibuses. Those are too large and too big, and he might enjoy an off issue or two, but specifically this Secret Wars omnibus has 12 issues featuring stories with Thor, She-Hulk, and What If stories. But on the right, this is what's interesting. On the right, Iron Man Legacy of Doom, issue number 1 from 2008. This shows both of his characters. He played both Iron Man and now will play Doctor Doom. And they are charging at each other on the cover, which is kind of a teaser, kind of a hint that the Iron Man himself, RDJ, could be back in Avengers Doomsday. This is a complete reality right now. After seeing this issue, how in the world does he think he could get away with this?
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
I don't think RDJ is still grasping the game he is playing it with right now, because this is huge.
Oh my God, it's huge.
Thanks.
This is a teaser that Iron Man could be back and he could fight Doomsday. So imagine RDJ versus RDJ. This is, turning into fanfic. But let's go back to what actually does this comic mean? What do these comics mean? Let's talk about the first image, the West Coast Avengers. In that issue, the Avengers end up in Latveria and encounter a young fake Doctor Doom while going on the run from a communist country. Ironically enough, this story does not feature Doctor Doom as part of the plot, but Robert Downey Jr.'s use of West Coast Avengers imagery is still notable. He might be hinting something there, maybe a variant, maybe just a one-off spin-off scene, because there's more. I mean, RDJ has been spotted wearing multiple shirts featuring the West Coast Avengers in his interview. So this is not just a one-off comic, an image that just happened by happenstance. This might be something more that he is, trying to wink at us. The team of West Coast Avengers included Hawkeye, Tigra, Mockingbird, and even Iron Man, who Robert Downey Jr. turned, of course, into a household name. And the last time he played him was it's been 7 years now. Yeah, he really seems to like them for some reason, and again, it might hint that there's gonna be jumps in Avengers Doomsday, and we might see it. But let's go to the second one, because I'm so excited for this image. This image is just so beautiful, and RDJ posting this is something special for sure. Even if he's, promoting his son's music, which I don't care. At the end of the day, this gets us talking, boy. This gets the juices flowing, because in the second image, in Iron Man Legacy of Doom, this is what happens. In the story, Iron Man and Doom are on the cover. The two are forced to team up to stop Mephisto. Now, he has featured some stories with Mephisto too, but these two guys, Iron Man and Doom, ironically or unironically, played by RDJ, they team up to stop him to bring the end of days. But if you read the issues, as the issues go on, there are several, of course, twists and turns, and the alliances change. At the end of the day, they end up battling each other, which is an even crazier instance, an even crazier scene. I mean, imagine RDJ playing Iron Man in Avengers Doomsday and he's fighting Doctor Doom. So RDJ against RDJ. It could be a monumental, iconic scene in the MCU. Convoluted? Sure, why not? But still, very iconic. By the way, during Comic-Con, Matt Shakman was just asked was Robert Downey Jr. actually playing Dr. Doom in that post-credit scene? So the interview went like this. Shackman said, did I do the end credit scene? No, because by now we know that the Russo brothers did both the Thunderbolts post-credit scene and now the Fantastic Four post-credit scene. And he said, yeah, the Russos did the tag. And the interviewer asked, was that Downey in the suit? He answered yes. We know that Matt Shackman previously denied that Doom was going to be in the movie because, of course, the insiders started they started spreading rumors that Doom was going to be featured in the movie in Fantastic Four. And he actually was, technically, in the mid-credit scene. So yeah, now we can rest the debate. It was actually Robert Downey Jr. taking it seriously, which is, we're glad to see. He took the role seriously. He went in to do a faceless 2-second scene, which is great. But now Kevin Feige coming in for the win. He teases that the Fox X-Men have a major role in Avengers Doomsday. So he was quoted as saying, it was another dream that we just didn't think about for many years. Deadpool and Wolverine scratched the surface of that. He means, of course, with Wolverine. And now we're really delving into it with Doomsday. So he's literally trying to tell us that that was nothing compared to what we're going to see from the X-Men in Avengers Doomsday. Let's not forget, Doomsday will bring together generations of Marvel movie history, of a story unlike anything the fans have ever seen. Even previously in other Avengers, we had our Avengers in the MCU that were already established, but this is bringing in other studio franchises as well. Fantastic Four, X-Men, perhaps, please, Deadpool. I mean, we're having the Fox, the Sony, the Marvel, everybody's coming together for this movie, and I really hope that it's going to be coherent because there is some issues with the script, I hear. They are literally shooting the movie right now and the script is not yet finished, meaning that they don't have a cohesive ending, a coherent ending as of right now. But Kevin Feige went on to confirm that it's got a heck of a lot more people in it. He said that's always fun. The fun of an Avengers movie is introducing people to each other and seeing how very different personalities get along. In the case of a movie that involves the threat of worlds literally colliding, it's fun to see them visit each other's home. So the Baxter Building said, and it's got a heck of a lot more people in Doomsday. It's a thrill to see that interaction, and it's surreal to me, who's been around for 25 years. There's also this interesting tidbit after the mid-credit scene of Fantastic Four, where we saw Franklin Richards heavily featured. He had grown a couple of inches and was supposedly healing Dr. Doom's face for RDJ to conveniently remove his mask while filming his scenes, if you know what I'm saying. And this has led kind of the fans to talk about it more, to talk about Sue's daughter instead of Franklin Richards, her son. In the post-credit scene, we see that when she returns with another children's book, Robert Downey Jr. is there. But the problem is, Doom has never had such a seemingly close connection to Franklin Richards in the comics. That honor would actually go to Valeria. So if you don't know who Valeria is, she is the second child of Sue Storm, and it actually was a complicated birth in the comics. It threatened the lives of her and her daughter. However, they were saved in the comics by Dr. Doom's intervention. And what's even crazier, after Dr. Doom saves Valeria and Sue Storm, they let her name this newborn child, and Dr. Doom names her Valeria after his first love, and then becomes Valeria's godfather. Naturally, Dr. Doom kept a close eye on Valeria from afar, even secretly influencing her as an infant to the point of her first word being Doom. So you can see that from the comics, the daughter was actually much closer to Dr. Doom than Franklin Richards ever was. And I'm curious to see how they're going to handle this, and are they ever going to introduce Valeria in this new iteration, or are they just going to scrap that idea and just go with Franklin Richards, which makes more sense? Of course, we talked about why it is important for Franklin Richards to be tamed a couple of videos ago. In Fantastic Four First Steps, you actually have the Franklin Richards character finally introduced. He's going to be the main problem that Dr. Doom will have to face, especially in Battleworld. You have to understand this is why that post-credit scene, First Steps post-credit scene, is so important, because it sets up Franklin Richards right off the jump. This is why Franklin Richards will be very important for both Avengers movies. I suspect that we will have a time jump 8 years. As in the comics, Doom will rule over Battleworld, over a lot of characters. Enter Franklin Richards with Thanos. Rumors are that Franklin Richards, since, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, since he resurrected his mother, never before done, he has the power of resurrection. This changes the game completely. So, in the Marvel Comics, Franklin Richards is a mutant whose primary ability is reality manipulation. So that means that he can reshape existence itself on a fundamental level. Unlike some other characters who have telekinesis or energy projection, Franklin's power doesn't only only affect what already exists. Franklin can create and alter matter, energy, and space, even entire universes at will. This means timelines as well, and the multiverse too. He can rewrite the laws of reality around him. So you basically can think Thanos, but without the glove. He doesn't need the glove, he has the abilities himself. If you've seen the movie Fantastic Four First Steps, you see that Galactus himself refers to Franklin Richards as a more powerful entity than himself. So Galactus is bowing down before Franklin Richards essentially. He is a wielder of what's called power cosmic. Franklin possesses more energy than ancient cosmic entities and countless planets bigger than Earth. So what's even crazier is that, as we see in the movie, Franklin Richards displays the ability of resurrection, which might be the most powerful and overpowered thing in the multiverse if you think about it. This has never been established before, and this is why it's interesting. This is why the writer of Loki is key to this, because that Loki experience, the TVA experience, will come in handy. Let's talk a little bit about Thanos.
I am inevitable.
So what was established in other Avengers movies with Thanos is that real deaths are irreversible. The snap happened and the Avengers reversed it. The characters can be replaced by multiversal variants, but up until now, there haven't been any known scientific or magical methods to defy death. This is until the latest Fantastic Four movie, and it could set up one of the biggest baddies in the whole MCU, and that is, of course, Thanos. First of all, Thanos is one of those cosmic level threats that has immense natural powers, and coupling him with the Infinity Gauntlet, he is a Galactus level threat, a Franklin Richards threat. Again, in the comics, Thanos possesses a vast range of powers due to his eternal deviant hybrid physiology, and that grants him superhuman strength and endurance. He also has cosmic level intellect, and he is able to weaponize advanced technology. Beyond his physical abilities, the Mad Titan is a master schemer, of course, which often makes him a threat to the entire universe. But as we saw in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, he is immensely powerful, and he can couple Franklin Richards by essentially changing all the things that Franklin Richards naturally can change, which, as we said, was matter, energy, space. And this time, instead of being the villain, Franklin Richards and Thanos could work side by side to defeat Dr. Doom. The rumors are that this is exactly what they're planning for Avengers Doomsday. This is the only way that they can resurrect everybody from Battleworld, destroy Dr. Doom's machinations, and essentially set us up for Avengers Secret Wars. One thing we do know from the comics is that Franklin Richards is more powerful than Thanos. While Thanos is able to eliminate life across the universe, with the Infinity Gauntlet, Franklin Richards is able to create a whole universe effortlessly just by himself with his natural powers. For me personally, this works in the comics, but in the movies, it could be too OP. So I think in the movies, they will have to nerf Franklin Richards just a little bit to be able to justify a lot of things, because in this case, Franklin Richards just can do anything he wants. That, of course, doesn't make for a great movie. In the Fantastic Four movie, we clearly see that Franklin Richards has barely begun to explore the full extent of his power, and in the post-credit scene, it is suspected that he is healing Dr. Doom's face so that RDJ doesn't have to wear the mask all the time. This is a big pet peeve of mine because he did the same thing with Iron Man. Instead of having the suit all the time, we would constantly see his face, and at the ending there with Thanos, luckily for RDJ, Thanos removed his mask. But just imagine when Franklin Richards is able to unleash all of it, just a fraction of it, but imagine all of it. He can tame Galactus himself, let alone Thanos. But the Doctor Doom question is always there. What's going to happen in Avengers is anybody's guess right now. We can only go by rumors, by what we've heard from insiders. The only angle they could play out in the movies is that unlike Thanos, who is a scheming mastermind and has no problem erasing half the universe, Franklin Richards is an innocent, kind-hearted child who usually avoids using his full potential. So this could be a method to kind of tame Franklin Richards as well for the next movie, but I think that in Secret Wars, all gloves will be off. Now, there's been also rumors that Franklin Richards will go up against other MCU characters, so what's comparable to him? Is it the Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Thor? I think many fans would agree that nothing could compare to Franklin Richards right now. He stands in a league of his own. I mean, there's other characters like Ego is a celestial with planetary scale manipulation, but Franklin could theoretically rebuild or erase that living planet entirely. Kang the Conqueror has destroyed entire timelines, but Franklin's power transcends time entirely. Even Sentry, the nearly invincible Void, could be overturned by just a simple flick of the wrist by Franklin. So what the Fantastic Four post-credit scene did, for my mind, is just tease Avengers Doomsday in a major way, that RDJ has his work cut up for him, that Doctor Doom has a lot of work to do if he is ever to come close to keeping Franklin Richards in check. There's more on the Battleworld that he's created, so we're going to talk about those in the next videos. Be sure to subscribe and become part of the Nerdy Gang. I'll see you next time.